Welcome back. Before the break, we were talking to our distinguished guest today about her various work in various countries. Dr. Najma, you have traveled almost to all the continents and some of the most dangerous places in the world. And one of that picture that I saw, you were about 6,000 feet below the sea level in a coal mine. But above the surface, you have also been to some dangerous areas, like Afghanistan and other places. Anything interesting that you came across that has changed your perceptions about life and dangers?
Starting working from Bangladesh, because I grew up, I didn't
Bangladesh
realize.
I don't consider as a dangerous
But there
place.
are challenges when you actually travel by yourself in the rural areas, and you can actually encounter a lot of challenges there. But specifically going to Kabul, yes, because people perceive it's a difficult place. I had it's dangerous.
When was that?
It was in 2002, right after the 9/11 incidents, it's the anniversary year.
Difficult days.
Very difficult days. And it could be dangerous, but I think because of my security training, I knew also when to back out from those kind of risky areas. I went to a bazaar in Kabul.
Did you have to carry guns?
No, I didn't carry guns, but I wanted to change some dollars.
Did you wear a burqa?
No, I didn't. I think because this is after war, so it was not restricted at that time. So I went there to change some dollars to local currency, because just to buy my kind of food and other things. And when I went to the market, I asked the exchange rate. So $1 was 40,000 Afghani rupees at that time. So I had a $100 bill with me, and I wanted to change, and I realized I needed a big sack to carry all the Afghani rupees. And I decided to come back. So I asked the driver, let's go back, I'll come back later, or I go to the bank to change the dollar. And right after I left that place, and there was a kind of bomb blasted in that area. So hindsight, I feel that maybe it was good and smart thing for me to kind of move away from that. But immediately the security situation of the whole Kabul was extreme. Every road they had a checkpost and checking, so the alert was there. So things like that, there's always kind of danger when you go.
How could you work in that kind of situation?
People were working. I had to do some research work, so I was meeting a lot of the development organization. Sorry?
Afghani women?
Only
Did you meet?
I kind of met, but then I was meeting the principals of the medical colleges, the UNICEF, the senior people there, and also with some UN organization. I think the research work was very interesting about both in Pakistan and Afghanistan. They are like primary health care workers, the doctors who was Afghani doctors working in Pakistan, and I think Pakistan government wanted them to repatriate.
Right.
And what Afghan government wanted them to have the training and then come back. So looking into where the situation in, and that was my kind of task. That's why I had to travel both different places in Pakistan, in Haripur, Abbottabad, Peshawar, and different places.
Is the border area, Hazara
Yes,
and all that.
yeah, so lots of interesting stories. So, and I was lucky. I met all the kind of lovely, good, and interesting people in both those countries. So I have a fantastic experience. And other than that, I was traveling in different parts of Africa. In Mozambique, we had to have a long drive, like 6 hours, and food sometimes become a big issue because there's nothing to kind of eat. And there's one place, some villagers gave us some chicken and rice, like as a hospitality, they give you things. But when I was actually going to eat the dinner, we left that chicken and the food for that guest house cook to cook. And I saw that even in that curry, so they have the chicken head, legs, everything is there. So my mom used to ask me, oh, did you actually get any halal food? I would say, Mom, I can't think about halal food. I have to just move away all that, just took some gravy and, at my rice. So things like that, you just have to be prepared. And of course, situation now has gone even dangerous in some places where, for our kind of security training, we are kind of asked that, to be kind of cautious of the situation, not to take risk, and you follow your instinct also when
Did
you
you
actually
also work in the FGM area?
Yes, I think the organization I worked with earlier, so they had issues, address that issue, not only in the Africa region for more kind of awareness, but also in the UK program. Because in the UK also there are a lot of girls in the diaspora groups actually having that problem. So
they're being tortured.
Yeah, so it's more about like making aware of the young generation, empowering them to say no and what to do. So there are like good programs there.
But there's also a problem like within the diaspora, within the people who have come from other countries to live here. They take their children, particularly girls, back home and they marry them off to somebody, see. This has happened in Bangladesh also, because I had occasions to visit Dhaka and also to meet some officials in the British Embassy in Bangladesh, and so they were talking about it, and then they said that we had to deal with this kind of situation quite often, see. So did you come across that?
Yeah, that's a very unfortunate situation happening, and I think the main thing is about really educating these girls. When they get the education, they can actually really take the decision and say no. When they don't want, they will be empowered to say that, no, I don't want to get married, I don't want to be in that situation, I don't want to have that FGM. So I think this is where the value of education is tremendous. And I think the value of education I see within our family. My mom got married when she was 13 and she had 4 children by the age of 20. But I think she was lucky also that she got not the institutional formal education, but she could actually learn because my father valued education as a priority. But in our generation it changed, so we all got like education, and even my next generation, my children. But I think it's not changing kind of enough and quick in the whole country. And that's why you will get a lot of anecdotes and stories, but it's not happening in that speed.
It does not reflect the ground realities.
And
but the ground reality is that the parents need to be taught as well, educated
and sad
as well.
thing, when I hear people are getting married at that early age, and I compare my mom's story, but she's 80, so I'm talking about 80 years ago it happened.
Yes.
And when I hear that story now, I feel really sad. And this is why I feel that we need to really work harder and do something in such speed that those children's lives, they can't really wait. We have to do something about it.
Which is the topmost reason why is this happening? I mean, can you list a few causes that contribute to this situation? Because we talk in general, let's see, education. What sort of education? Just learning ABC, Go, health?
It's allowing them, the children, both kind of boys and girls, going to, get that education to learn at least up to the 9th grade. Because then by that time, you not only learn how to write and read, but you also learn some of these kind of skills, life skills that you need.
Is it being taught in these classes?
Yes, I think more and
more.
Health
science.
Yeah, I think more and more the comprehensive sexuality education in the UK actually passed 2 years ago. I think it is actually telling about age-specific, cultural-specific education, where not only about sex education, but you learn about contraception, you learn about HIV/AIDS and other sexual transmitted diseases, and also the other life skills. Because if you don't have that kind of 9th grade or secondary level education, it's difficult to get a job or even entrepreneurship. You need to really have that basic education. For those people to earn, and that economic empowerment is really crucial, women to earn something, then they can make the decision. So strongly believe that they should get that opportunity and access to education. And it brings in the whole quality of schools and the teachers' education, and making aware the parents' awareness. So I think it's, again, we can't really look into one sector kind of specific on its own. You need to also look into the broader areas that the children are growing.
So basically you're talking about confidence building. So one cannot know everything.
Yeah.
So how does one build his confidence? I mean, with whatever little knowledge he or she has to be confident as a person, see.
Yeah.
So how does she become a confident
Yeah, I
person?
truly believe that confidence is not only about having the knowledge of everything. It's about believing that you're able to do something about it. And how you do it, you have, anything you want to achieve or change, or you want to really make a decision, you have to have that kind of focus. You think about it, and if you have a kind of, like my vision and goal, I want to help and support, it's a big one. But the way to manage is you break it down in small components. Every day, if you think that, okay, this is my focus, I'm going to really do this, and you think about that, different steps, and you do it. Sometimes if you want to really achieve something for career development or family or relationship, and a lot of people want to make change, but there's something stopping them, some negative feelings, that fear of failure or fear of somebody's going to say something, or I'm not good enough, or procrastination.
Yeah.
And this is why I think you need help and support from somebody else. And this is where I think my interest grew, and I want to study life coaching or performance development coaching, and want to help those people who really want to change, almost like standing at the edge of a cliff and ready to jump, but something is holding them back. I want to help those people, those people who really want to make a change. It doesn't matter whether it's health, career, business, family, or relationship. A coach can help, because we don't give any advice. And the support is more with listening to those individuals and asking the effective or insightful question, so the person can actually be aware of their strength. They know actually where are those kind of limiting beliefs or negative things, and they can work about it. So it's more empowering that person. They make their decision, and that will stay.
But does it work?
It works, definitely works. I was at the receiver end, and I think it's fascinating how coaching really works. It's being very popular in the States. It's coming up in the UK. So I'm starting right now with the Coaching Academy. It's #1 in the UK. And I think there's a very simple methodology, and you can help with people, especially in the corporate sector and some of this like development sector. When you actually reach to the top level position, sometimes you are the loneliest person. You can't share a lot of things with your other colleagues. And this is the moment you need sometimes mentor, and then coach. And there's some difference between coaching, mentoring, counseling, and there are like a lot of similarities, that you have to build trust, the confidentiality or listening skill. But the difference is, for when it's really damaged, or looking into something happened in the past, you need a therapist. Coaching will not work. If you need somebody's help, you need a mentor. And that's why coaching is different, that it doesn't give any advice, but more empowering you to make your own decision.
Well, Dr. Nazma, Kabir, we have almost reached the end of this program, but I would like you to say something to our younger viewers, share your experience, your views, and that is your camera, if you would like to share.
I think I would actually say to my younger viewers that focus is actually driving you to go forward. And when you actually make a decision that you want to make a change, you can't really change anything if you're not thinking that change. It needs to really be in your mindset. And our brain, it doesn't actually understand whether it's negative or positive, because subconscious mind, we make decisions 90% of that time. So feed your negative feelings with positive thinking, and then actually you can actually move forward. And for me, I want to really help those people who really want to make change. And I will take the quote of Maya Angelou, what she said, I want to be the rainbow in the cloud of other people.
Great. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you very much for having me here. Thank you.
I hope that you have enjoyed the show as much as we have, and hope to see you again next week, same time, same channel. In the meantime, take care and do become a rainbow in somebody's cloud. Be positive.